Untold today is all about marketing, and here I have ALMazeedi, Hussein Ajuz.
Yes.
And I cannot wait to get into this discussion.
Yes, because this is your field.
It is my field. I will try my best to not talk much. I'll leave it to you. I'm very passionate about this field. I think it's such a deep field, and I think Roula is an expert.
Just real quick, why are you passionate about marketing?
Well, I don't know. I think there's just something about it that the way you convince customers to buy a product is a science. And a lot of people think
It's a skill.
it's a skill. And honestly, I think it's a science. I genuinely think
Absolutely.
people think it's coincidence. And why do you see certain ads at a certain time? Why is it you that's seeing this ad but not your friend? Everything's calculated with digital marketing. Literally, the sky's the limit.
Yes, and with that beautiful thing you just said, let's welcome our marketing specialist right next, Roula, Mohamad.
We're back to finally unbox the untold story of Roula Mohamad. Roula, welcome to Untold. So, Roula, you're a marketing specialist. I'll just call you a marketing expert for now, right?
Yeah.
I think it's fair to start with a broad question.
Yeah.
A lot of the people watching might have basic knowledge of marketing, but they see a lot of ads all around them. They're walking in the street, there's a billboard. They open their applications, there's always a pop-up ad, and so on. What is marketing in your definition? Like, what is marketing to us?
Marketing is like the image of the brand, is the image of the company, whatever is the field or the brand is. Marketing is like what reflects the brand. Yani, it's like mostly what people see about the brand. They don't know the inside. They just see the marketing. They just see those advertisements,
Yes.
the videos, the visuals, the billboards, whatever it is. So this is like the face of the brand. So it's really important. One thing about what you were saying, that everyone sees ads here and there. I tell them this sometimes, like it's different when you work in marketing than you are a person who doesn't work in marketing. The way you see the ad becomes different. So now when I'm walking on the street, I'm driving, I see an ad, I notice immediately, oh, the text is overlapping, so the number here is
Critical.
yeah, it's you become critical. I'm like, what is the message here? But for a person who's not working in marketing, he'll be like, either it grabs his attention or not. So
I can relate to that in a way whenever I watch a movie or anything. As a filmmaker, it's like, oh, this, that. So I'm picking up on what you're saying.
100%. You get very critical. And I'm sensing a lot of psychology from what you're trying to talk about.
There is a lot of
There's a lot of overlap between the psychology of consumer behavior, understanding what a consumer wants, and showing him the message in a way that would be relevant to them.
you have to understand the market, first of all, the country you are in, the culture, the market itself, and your target audience, because also you can't be just like broadcasting for everyone. There's an audience of people who are interested in this, so you need to give them exactly what they like or what they are interested, not just like, okay, something for everyone. If you target everyone, it's the same as if you don't target anyone. Yeah, and
I like that one, yes.
That's a good concept.
yeah, exactly. You can't reach all the market. So
True.
even in one brand or one company, if you have different kind of products, you have to target for each product the audience that works for it, your target audience. So let's say if you have this mug that has a picture of a picture that for anime, let's say, you can't put it on an ad or in a packaging the same way if it has a Fairuz photo on it. Like, yeah, it's a different audience, different age, different. So here it's really important for the marketer to know his audience and to know the market he's working with. Also, it doesn't come like, you don't learn this in university. You don't learn this in a course. You
I
learn
agree with that.
this
Yeah.
by experience.
Comes with experience.
It comes with it.
They might teach you the basics. They might
Education will give you the basics, understanding the first, what succeeded, what failed,
Exactly.
but then it's on you.
Yeah, they're not gonna teach you like how to do marketing in Kuwait or how to do it in Dubai or how to do that in Riyadh. And they're not gonna teach you how to do marketing for automotives or how to do it for food and beverages. Or you have to learn this by experience.
in general, though. What I think
Yeah.
is true.
Of course, there is like, what we can call it like basics that no one can touch in marketing.
That's very
Absolutely.
Matter in what field.
Fundamentals of marketing.
Exactly. But someone can be working in an agency, let's say, as a creative side and all this for years, but he comes suddenly and work in the client side. It's a different experience.
Absolutely.
When he works, he's working with F&B for 5 years, and then so he's an expert by 5 years. Automotive, he needs to learn a lot here.
It's always a learning curve. It's only,
Exactly.
I mean, since marketing has a tremendous effect on people and why they buy things, do you think people would buy a bad product because the marketing campaign was great?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, because what we try to touch with the people, sometimes they're not buying the product, they're buying how the product makes them feel.
That is true with so many products.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's say, especially when you relate the product to a personality, to a public figure, to a successful person, they buy it because in their, like, you go unconsciously to their mind to put in their head that when you are purchasing this product or when you are walking out carrying this or driving this car, you are a successful man now.
It's how they direct those commercials.
Exactly.
There's a story to tell. There is a script in
Yes.
you know. This is like touching onto my field now. But it is awesome, marketing.
It really does. I think market from wrong. There's a lot of theory that goes behind any single campaign. For example, in marketing, they always talk about how you have to STP, like you have to segment, target, and position. So is this something that actually you work on actively? We study this at university. But do you, in your daily work, do you segment, target, and position?
Yeah, exactly. Because where I'm working right now, we have it's the same product, but let's say as a mug, I work in automotives. We have a car that fits the age of the university age, a car that fits the older ages, the family people. So when we do any campaign, either visual side, creative side, or digital marketing, where we are going to post this, the target audience, the hashtags we're gonna use, everything is different from car to car, depending on the audience or the people who will be interested in this product itself.
Speaking of hashtags,
Yeah.
social media, let's say, is a new medium for the past 2 decades.
I think so. Honest.
Or less.
20.
And then before that, we had television, print, billboards, right? What's that transition that we had from that traditional media to social media, the evolution? How do you cater or change your marketing technique or aspect or take to social media? Is there like a big difference?
Big difference. You know what is the positive part? Let's talk about the benefits of this transition now. Is that your campaign became now measurable. You can really measure how well it's working, accurate numbers, impressions, engagement, views, and plus the leads. Now we are not talking only about impressions.
Yes.
A big amount of our clients are coming from the sponsored ads where they click, either they go to the website, either they go to WhatsApp
They
message.
clicked on that.
We can see they clicked and we communicate with them and we register them on our systems as a lead, and the salesman starts contacting them. So the amount also we spend on digital marketing is now way bigger than what we spend on billboards or TV or any other media. Because the other mediums are not measurable.
But not comparable. What you spend, I think, is just what you spend on the traditional media can exceed tremendously what you would spend on digital platform.
The thing is, like, if you want to compare about the value, let's say, you pay a huge amount for a billboard, basically on billboard, and you can't measure and you can't let him take an action right now to contact you or communicate with you.
Yeah.
And you can't measure what it did. But when it comes to social media or, like, let's say digital media, for digital media, you can measure this. You're paying a smaller amount, like, let's say a lead might cost you, it depends on the brand and the product and all that, but it might cost you between $30 up to like $90, $70, depending on the item you're selling. So you know each lead, each person, how much did it cost you? To that point, it's detailed and measurable and accurate.
Cost to acquire a customer
Yeah,
is probably less today than it was back in the tradition.
But also, I think it depends on the product you're buying. I think it depends
exactly.
hugely. If you're into automotive,
Yes.
the cost per a single lead or a customer is way higher than if you're buying a mug.
Right.
Exactly.
And you would say that this social media thing is a good thing for marketing. There's no negative effects.
I'll tell you the thing. Now you are able, the phone is in their hand wherever they are. In their bed, on the couch, while eating, while driving, everywhere. So this helped you to reach them no matter how.
Yeah.
And you are reaching the person who is interested in it, because your campaign is showing only for the people who did any research or wrote any word on their message or on their search or whatever that is related to your product that you think he might be interested. So we have a list of words that people can use that our ads will show to them. So also you're not wasting your money on people that you don't know if they're interested or not.
As you said at the start, not all of your customers are your customers. I mean, you have a certain segment.
Exactly. So digital media helps you to reach exactly your targeted audience. But if you put it on the street, you're putting, let's say, per billboard, around 250 KD, let's say, per billboard, and you don't know how many is the percentage, like millions of people might see it, but the percentage of the people who are interested, you don't know how much. Plus, from that, they can take an action. But from their phone, they can contact you immediately.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Just click and ask more, know more, inquire, buy it now, whatever. Even especially with e-commerce, when you can buy online, it's just click the button and buy it.
Can I make an observation? Sorry to cut you off. Can I make an observation?
Yeah.
You speak with so much passion about marketing.
Yes.
Where
You really do. You really do.
to step aside from that word for a second, where does that passion, that drive
What's the
come from? Yes. Why are you so driven about marketing? We hate ads, right?
Yeah.
No one wants to watch a video online and get interrupted by an ad, right?
Especially when we're watching your videos.
We pay the premium to skip the ads.
Yeah, exactly.
So why are you so driven about commercials?
Because it's the way I see it, I feel like you're making magic, like how you are really attracting those people to come to your store, to come to your brand, and convincing them even that they don't want to watch your ad, even that they don't want to see it, even that they are trying to save their money. Don't tell me they're sale, but you can manipulate their brain.
Manipulation, and that's the word.
I was hoping not to get that.
Marketing. Do we lie in our commercials?
This is tricky here. It depends on the brand and the strategy, because yes, some brands do lie, or some brands maybe, let's say, not lie, but they highlight more the thing they want to highlight, and say undercut, they put it under the carpet, what they don't want to show.
Biggest example is fashion stores. Discounts up to 70%.
And then it's two items.
There's one item thrown in the corner, and that has 70%, and the rest 10%.
This has been a very insightful conversation about marketing. Yes, very passionate. I love this passion, and I still want to know more about that passion and how it started. I think we haven't touched on that yet, but after this break. We're back on The Untold, continuing our conversation about marketing with our very special guest, Roula and Mohamad. As we left before the break, I want to touch on the passion. You did talk about it a little, but I want to go to before you discovered your passion for marketing. What led it to take me to the steps?
Okay, I'm not
Break it
gonna
down.
talk a lot about since I was a child, but
What did you want to do when you were a child? Yes, tell me. I ask this
No.
question all the time.
Like,
when you were a child, what did
when
you
I
want to
was
do?
a child, I was more into creativity, and my passion was to become a producer. And I always would hear a song or think about story and imagine how the video could be and
I
the
see
story
you like
was.
producing ideas.
Yeah, and I shared in I joined also some program for teenagers that was in Lebanon that time on
Awesome.
TV, that they gave the teenagers a camera and they were like, just make for me an episode like as a journal, one day of your life.
Wow.
Nice.
And
That's
I was
awesome.
like always interested in that.
Okay.
But then just life took me somewhere that I decided to get married and continue my studies in Kuwait. So I studied business administration. That was the only option I found because like coming from Lebanon to Kuwait, still I didn't know the universities here, and I had to study distance, like by distance with Lebanon. I used to take the books at the beginning of
So
the
you lived
year.
in Kuwait?
I lived in Kuwait,
studied
but
in Lebanon.
so
Okay.
I used to take the books at the beginning of the year and just do the test at the end, just without attending any class for 4 years. And I had children. I had my first son, and then I was like, to get to know the country more. You know, when you are new and you still don't know people, I decided to get along and like know the country more. I need to work. So I started as a teacher assistant.
Okay.
Because I was undergraduate at that time, and I didn't have any experience, and this is how I started to really know more Kuwait as like from the people in Kuwait.
Awesome.
And by time like I got stuck in the field of teaching and schools, and I saw that I cannot grow more there because my major is
ceiling.
business.
Right.
And there's a ceiling and it's a repetition
And it's
every
not truly
year.
what you wanted to do with your life.
Exactly. It was like just one day when I was like just like really very tired. You know, when you're drowning, you're like, "Khalas, I can't do this job anymore."
Had
And
enough,
a friend of mine told me like, "Roula, as long as you have a salary that is paying your rent and providing food on your table, you're not gonna go look for something else. You're gonna always feel safe. Okay, I'm covered. That's it.
That's your comfort zone.
And that's your
And
comfort
you're standing a
zone.
step outside the comfort
If you just decide to leave, then you're gonna like really find a way to get to find the right job."
I love that.
It's like,
That's very
oh
nice.
my god,
Very
that's really serious, but I need to do it. At that time, I was like, I opened my Instagram account public, and I started like some, but not, you can't say I became an influencer, but it became a public account, and I started getting invitations.
Slowly influence people.
Exactly. I started to know the market a little more, get invitations to openings, new stores, launching something new. So here where I met more people, and I knew more about the social media in Kuwait, about the market, the small businesses, what's new, what's happening in the market. So when I left teaching, I didn't stay one day without a job. Immediately I got an offer from a company that I didn't even apply to. They called me, they texted me on Instagram, and they were like, "We have a project for you. Are you interested?" I thought it's like just a project, not a
Did they
job.
find you through your Instagram?
They found it through my Instagram. When I opened my Instagram, I thought that I will become an influencer with 1 million
1 million
followers,
followers.
and I will charge
at that-
4,000 KD for an ad.
At that time when they approached you, how many followers did you have?
3,000? Yeah, something like this. But
So
they saw something
in you. It's not the
Exactly.
followers.
But she
it's
worked
something in
hard on
you.
herself.
Yes.
You know, but Roula, I've been seeing a trend in your life, and you mentioned people a lot. You always mention people.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting how you worked in teaching, and you're always surrounded by people, I'm assuming, and that built your skill. And I think there's a lot of stereotype in marketing that for you to work in marketing, you have to be a people's person.
Exactly.
You have to be someone that's social. You have to be someone that's kind of like an extrovert and to talk to people and kind of be
Yeah,
be like a
because
social butterfly.
you need to really know what's going on. You really need to know what's happening with the people,
Yeah.
what they are talking about, what they are
Yeah.
interested in now. What is the trend? What is the conversation that is now? A trend doesn't have to be like only like how we're dressing up or which restaurant we're going, but it might be also a conversation about Elon Musk, worry about financial situation. So there is something happening always. If you're not communicating with people very well, you don't get to know it. Plus, in marketing specifically, when you talk to people, connections, like it's not like connections get you placed, but it's like it opens for you doors.
That's the truth. And that's the truth.
Yeah.
The more people you know, the more doors you open, which is
Exactly. Things just happen with you, like, because you're more exposed. Of course, if you are sitting in your couch and behind the screen,
Exactly.
not doing anything inside your home, you're not gonna be in contact with more people, and chances will not
Yeah.
pass by you.
But also,
So-
like, if the more people you know, the more personalities you understand, and I think the more personalities you understand, the easier, the less difficult it becomes
Yeah.
to create a campaign, perhaps. Because obviously, when you want to create a campaign, you have to understand your audience first.
Exactly.
And since you're someone that knows so many different personalities, just becomes second nature, right? That, okay, I have this car, this mug, whatever it is, and I've just happened to have met so many different personalities, and this is how I want to approach it.
Yeah, this is how I can sell it to a housewife. This is how I can sell
Yeah.
it to a business lady, to a businesswoman.
Yeah.
This is how I can sell it to a doctor. This is how I can sell it. People, actually, especially when you're selling, let's talk more, because marketing is related to sales.
Yeah.
When you are selling, you're not selling them just the product. You're selling them how they feel when they are communicating with you, how you're selling them the communication between you
emotion,
and
the
them.
emotion.
So a salesman also
Yeah.
needs to be aware of how he talks to people, and he makes them love him so they buy from him. Because even if I like the product so much, but the salesman is
Yes, yes,
يعني, grumpy or whatever, he's gonna make me hate the brand, hate
If he
the
doesn't
product.
like the product, why would I buy the product?
Yeah, but even if I don't like the product so much, and he convinced me, and I feel like, oh my god, like, he really did a good job. Sometimes you feel like he's really doing a good job. I want to support him. Sometimes it's just that I like him. He's really good. He really impressed me.
Yeah.
He really convinced me. I'm going for it. Even if you don't buy the car, you're gonna go tell other people about it.
this car and the experience.
Yeah, and the experience, exactly. About this guy, you're gonna tell them, go to Mohamad, because Mohamad is gonna really take good care of you, and he's gonna know what you want or whatever. So, and now something very, very, very important that we discovered recently, and we were talking about recently, is that people are not buying just the product. People want the easy way.
The
What
easy-
do you-
what do you mean by
easy
the
way?
easy way?
يعني, let's say now there might be, you can open a restaurant right under his apartment, okay, and it's just that he just has to go and grab it, but another restaurant that is far away will deliver it to his door just by a click on his phone, and use Apple Pay instead of using like his card and clicking many buttons. He will just click like this button and it's paid and done. He will choose the
But is
easiest
this the Roula
option.
experience or the marketing experience?
It's the marketing experience. People want the easiest solution.
Fair.
People want easy solutions.
Fair.
They don't
True.
want. They.
Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Speaking of people,
Yeah.
is the customer always right?
Okay. This is a tricky question.
This is where we go silent.
Yeah, this is where we go silent.
Yeah.
Look, sometimes it depends. Sometimes the managers in the company needs to really stand in the employee side and tell the customer, like, no, sorry, here you are wrong, and if you don't want to buy, it's okay not to buy. Here you put some boundaries to your brand, because also sometimes when you really go like, yeah, whatever he wants, I'm gonna give him, whatever he wants, I'm gonna do, whatever he say, I'm gonna just do anything just to calm him down, and so he doesn't go and talk bad about me. You're gonna also give him power over you. You're gonna devaluate your brand.
You lose the value of the brand, I think.
Yeah, I believe that. Not everyone agree with this. Some people still think the customer is always right, and no matter what he says. But it's not about always right. It's about also you have to know how to deal with him. Even if he's angry, even if he's screaming, even if he is yelling or whatever, you can be
Why is the
aggressive
customer
with him.
always a male? It's just a joke.
Especially when he is screaming.
He is, yeah. Actually, we talk about customer in a masculine way, not feminine.
I would just use they.
Yeah, we use customer.
Okay, so question about strategy in general. So, marketing is not just a coincidence, right? It's something you have to think about and you have to strategize.
You have to plan very well.
A few questions, honestly, piled into one. Why is it that when we drive on the road, sometimes we see a car with a price, and then we drive and we see something that's very teasing, just a question. At another point, we see just a logo. What's the why are the brands targeting us with these different strategies? Does it bring different values to them, or what happens?
The thing, it depends. Like if you look at a very classy brands and premium and luxury, they try not to mention numbers. Either it's a jewelry or it's cars or it's whatever. They don't mention numbers, because when you're mentioning a number, you're doing this mainly to attract the people that you are giving here a very competitive price or a very attractive price.
And the ones for luxury, the ones that know. The ones that know.
Exactly. Plus, when you are targeting the audience of a luxury brand, you're not gonna put for them the price and show them that they care about the price, because also they have some kind of ego that I don't care about the price.
That's a good one.
Like sometimes if you give them an offer, they're not gonna buy it. Sorry. Oh no, I don't buy when there is offer. I don't go if there's sale.
That's so interesting. That's so interesting.
Yeah, because it's a perspective thing. So it depends on your brand. Yes, you should have a strategy.
Speaking of strategy,
yes.
Could we play like a little exercise?
Okay.
Let's say we want to market the Untold.
Okay.
And we come to you. How do we brainstorm? How do we come up with a great promo?
Okay.
Give us your
There is something here. First of all, like what is the objective of the marketing here? Do you want to sell? Do you want awareness? Do you want views? Do you want people
trying to get viewers, trying to get the word out about this show and stuff like
Yeah.
that?
So does it depend on the life cycle of the brand? I mean, we are let's just say a new show just starting.
Exactly. If it's something like already known in the country, you have a different strategy for it
Brand
than
new
a brand
I
new.
want to introduce into the market.
Exactly.
How do I go about doing that?
So first of all, you choose you have to know your audience. Who will be interested in the Untold? What is their age, their demographics? Yes. And then you target them through the visual should be attractive to this audience themselves, or the creative. Either it's a video or a visual, whatever. Like is the material you're giving them, it should be attractive to them.
Attractive to them.
This one point. Then the digital media part, you have to target them in your digital media. And
how do I
and then especially how you target them, you put the specific words that this person, like let's say you search keywords. Exactly.
Podcasts, the guests on the show, stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like people who are interested, like let's say you're talking about business, people who are interested in business to learn more, to know more, something like
that's the beauty of digital marketing, no? Where you're able to do it. That's why you said
sometimes not exactly the words of your brand. Like sometimes it's like this audience is also interested in something like this. You put these keywords.
Catch their eyes. I see like random hashtags under posts. They're not about the post. I sometimes they're like, oh, this is not really about this post, but it's somewhat
so the person who's interested in this will be interested in that. Like
there's a quote, I think one of the favorite quotes I heard before we wrap up in business. I have to say it. It's like that. It says, if the product is free, you're the product.
Yes, we are the products.
Yeah,
I think
exactly. So here also you have one thing like. For the people, you're not selling an item, you just want them to watch. So you want awareness and you want them to watch the show. But for who you are selling, you sell for the companies to get them to advertise through your show. So here is your audience. Where you want to sell is different. So here you have to do for them different marketing. So it depends on who's your audience.
100%.
Is it
One size does not fit all.
Is it the public? Is it kids? Is it adults? Is it teenagers? It depends. Yeah.
Roula, just to wrap up, what's your untold little secret to the audience? If they're watching this, they're seeking one piece of advice. They're interested in marketing. What would you tell them?
Lots of people over here.
Interested in marketing. Okay. Marketing is not like a job that you just go to the office and do it. Like this is something it has to live in you. It has to be in you, no matter how you move, no matter what you do, no matter with who you are sitting. So it has to be in you. If you don't really feel that you can be that active and catching up on everything that is new and knowing what's happening and thinking that, oh, this might work for my brand, this might work for my client, this might work for this person, I have a new idea, yes, we can apply this. And you have to be not just creative, you have to be like a brave little. You have to do things like out of the box.
It's a complete lifestyle, I'd say.
It's a complete
Thank you,
lifestyle.
honestly. Thank you so much. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you so much. This was very insightful. and beautiful, beautiful messages you've sent out throughout your conversations here. And we learned a lot. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for listening.
We'll be right back with the wrap up. Wow, what a conversation, man.
Did you expect it?
I mean, marketing is such a big world, and
It is.
just like aside from marketing, the passion she had, or she still,
You can sense it. You
you can sense it. She's just going for it, and she knows what she's talking about. Barely took a second to think. 100% really knows everything, like the back of her hand.
Exactly.
Awesome.
No, total respect for experience.
Yes.
I want to learn from
Even like we did this exercise about the Untold, how to promote it and all that.
consultation.
Free consultation.
But let's wrap up.
Yep, let's wrap up. It's been fun, and it's always fun right here on the Untold with this amazing co-host, Saying Legends.
See you later.
See you later.